say, please keep coming. Let us know you're here. Yes. Yes, please do share the link. Yes, please do share the link. Let us know you're here. So, very good evening, everybody, and very warm welcome to the 4T, the Tax Titans Talk. To all our students, working professionals, leaders, and the members of the iLead family joining us live on YouTube, thank you. Thank you very much, for taking time to be here today. Sorry for the little delay. So today's 4T is not a technical class, neither it is a webinar. It is a conversation, with leaders who have built real global careers, so that you can see what is possible and what it really takes, to be a leader, especially, in the US tax, accounting, and then payroll industry. So today we are truly honored to host a leader whose journey spans India, the US, and the global leadership roles. Our guest today is Mr. Shrenik Shah, the CA, CPA, and currently, the managing director and head of India offices at Armanino India LLP. Shrenik has over 20 plus years of experience across US tax, transformation, and building high performance global teams. And he has worked hands on in New York, built and scaled India operations for leading US CPA firms, and is deeply passionate about mentoring, culture, quality, and then leadership. So let me have the privilege of welcoming Shrenik.
Hi everyone. Hi Nanda.
Hello, hello. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for a warm welcome.
And
Thank
sorry.
you and iLead for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shrenik, for joining us today and for being so generous, with your time amidst your busy schedule. So, hearty welcome to our 40 show at iLead. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you. Thanks everyone.
yeah. So, Shrenik, before we go deep, so how are you feeling today and what made you say yes to a platform like this?
So I always like to interact with the younger professionals. I like to mentor them. I like to hear from them. I like to learn from them as well. So uh, I always like to interact with the younger generation because there is a lot to offer from them and to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, can you tell a little about yourself, to the audience?
Sure. Sure. So, as Nandakumar briefly gave my introduction, so I'm Shrenik Shah. I'm Managing Director of Armanino India. I have more than 22 years of experience in US tax. Um, right after passing chartered accountancy, I started my journey with US CPA firm's back office in Ahmedabad. The name of the firm was Graph Repairing Company. I became the director of that company after a couple of years, and then since 2007, I started going to the US on secondments, and I moved to US around 2010. Um, and in 2012, unfortunately, one of my managing partners passed away. Graph Reddy's managing partner, Peter Graff, passed away. So that's how that firm merged with Citron Cooperman in 2014, and that's how my journey started with Citron Cooperman. And I ran the Indian operation. So I was there with Citron Cooperman in the US for about 2 years, and then I moved back to India to start the Indian operations for Citron Cooperman. And I ran the firm for about 10 years. And in 24, I started another firm, Armanino India, and it's been 2 years, and we are more than 350 people already.
That's
On a
amazing.
personal front, I'm married, have two kids, and I love creative work. I love artwork. I love reading. I love to spend time with my kids.
That's really nice. So, take us back to your early days and what did first draw you, into accounting or taxation? What inspired you?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, when you're young, you don't know what is accounting, what is tax, things like that. But my uncle, my maternal uncle, was a CA. He's a CA, and his passion about the work and how he was respected in the society, how he would deal with the clients. So that always inspired me. So when I was in the grade eight, I decided that I will become a chartered accountant. And I
Oh,
was
at
a
grade
scholar. I
eight,
was always a topper.
grade eight, you decided.
Yeah, it sometimes it becomes a problem. It was it became a problem for me because I was a topper, and in those days, there was a fixed formula that if you are a topper, you generally go take the science stream.
Science.
So my father was also of the opinion that I should go for and on those days, software engineering was very hot in demand. So um,
Yeah, I think we missed you. We heard
yeah,
until
I
the
got
bribe.
disconnected. I don't know why.
We,
Uh,
we heard until the bribe.
Oh, okay. So that's when I decided that I would go for something where I'm respected for my knowledge and my work, not how much we can bribe. So, but again, nothing against the profession. Things have changed a lot. But CA is a great profession. But that's how I decided to go for CPA. So right after my results, I started taking the CPA exams. I passed my CPA exam in 2008, and since then I was always focused on the CPA work. So I never worked practically except for the articleship for my in the Indian accounting or tax world.
Okay, okay. So you are both a CA and CPA. Achieving CA itself, people feel so great about it. Again, you took up
Yeah,
CPA also, and then the work in the USA. Like, what motivated you there on the US side?
yeah. So actually, I always believe that if you want to excel in any particular field, you need to go to a particular place. For example, if you want to be a good restaurateur, you need to be you need to be a good butler. You need to understand like what is the taste of the people, what are the things that people like. Same thing happens in the service industry. Like if you want to be a good professional, you have to understand the what's happening at the ground level. Like you have to understand how to interact with the people. You have to understand what are the how things work in the US. Like so I was lucky enough and fortunate enough that I got opportunities through secondments, so I can spend time with my US partners and my clients there. So I learned a lot of things in terms of the US culture. That's very important because in the service industry, it is always about the experience that you give to the clients, not just about the deliverables, about the tax returns or the financials that you give. It's all about the experience that you deliver. So unless and until you're on the ground, you understand their language, their culture, you may not be able to deliver to the fullest. So it's very important that you should at least have once experience how to deal on the ground with the clients in live. So that really helped me a lot. I learned a lot of things from my partners, my managers. I would say majority of the work that I learned, from my mentors, my gurus in the US. First of all, they are very very hardworking.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, they are very focused. So if their work timings are 9 to 5, they would not even pick up the phone solicitation calls coming from banks and insurance companies unless it is an emergency. So there are so many things that I learned
Hmm.
in terms of respect. When it goes to respect, they are very very respectful, no matter what title they are. They would give the same, they would say hi and hello, and they'll say good morning to even the janitor, even the front desk person. It's not hierarchical. So those are really good things to learn from the US culture, work culture. In terms of attention to detail, excellent. Generally, people will not miss out on. For example, in India, if you're figuring out, you're finding out something on the client information, and you'll just easily dial a client like, "Hey, I'm not finding this information. Can you please send it again?" That would not happen in the US. You have to be meticulous. Like you cannot ask the clients the same information again. That will tell that you're not paying attention to the work. So even like I learned so many small things. Like even I would not, my manager would not allow me to directly contact the US initially. My US clients, they'll review the email. They'll review. I mean, in today's world, there are AI and all that, so they can help. But they'll review like what is the tone of the email, uh, how you're asking the information, and that's how I learned a lot of things. So even about being organized, I can tell you like when the tax returns are done. Because I'm from tax, so
Yeah.
most of the experiences and most of the examples would come from tax. But when we used to deliver, I'm talking about early 2007, 2008, we used to deliver the tax returns with a very nice package where the name would be printed along with the year. There'll be a front sheet will with detailed instructions like who has to sign it, what if there is a payment due, in whose name you have to write a check. It will be very clearly highlighted. There'll be kind of tags where somebody needs to sign off. So there would not be any thing missed out. Like there will be a separate team which will be taking care of the processing. So the point is that about the experience, the client will get really good experience, that they would not have to spend even 1 second extra in finding out like where is what is my refund, or whether it is a refund or tax due. um, Even the organization of the files, in those that I'm talking about, paper files, like in today's world it's all e-files, but everything will be really nicely managed in paper files, so that you can easily find things. Now the same thing applies in e-filing. Everything is meticulously but the way of work is very important, like how you deal with your client, how you deal with your work, how you deal with your work papers, how you save your documents. There will be a tax SOP for each firm, that how everything has to be managed, like from start to end. So that's how you become professional. That's how it's not just about punching the numbers; it's about delivering the experience to the client.
Absolutely. I mean, you have built and scaled India operations, for global firms, especially the US firms. So,
Yeah.
what advice do you have, for the entrepreneurs here, who are trying to build outsourcing firms or anything like that? So, what does it really take to build a global firm successfully?
Yeah. So I think you need to have the foundations right. You need to build your whys very clear, like why you want to build a foundation, why you want to build this firm. For example, if you are trying to build a firm for any other CPA firm, or a team for any other CPA firm, first of all, you and the management of that firm has to be on the same page. Like, what is it just about tax saving, or is it about building the team or capability? I mean, generally GCC is referred to as global capability centers. So I refer to it as growth capability centers, because right now we are in a world where the world has become a village. Like, you're carrying an iPhone which was probably designed in the US, manufactured in China, assembled in Taiwan, and delivered in India. So the same thing is happening in the service industry.
Yeah,
So world has become a small village now, and we have to think beyond boundaries, we have to act beyond boundaries. We have to make sure that the standards that we are keeping or trying to build, they are international standards, not just India level standards. So you have to forget the boundaries. You have to make sure that will this be acceptable to my US clients, or my European clients, or my Australian clients. That's how you build a, national or international level firm.
absolutely. So, what motivated you into GCC?
Well, honestly, when I started off, there was no formal plan of building a GCC. But when I think a very big moment came in when I was in the US, when I had my the merger happened with Citron from my prior company. So at that time, my prior firm was very small firm, about 40, 50 people firm, and in India we had about 8 to 10 people, and the the then Citron Cooperman was about, I think, 600 people. So it was a big move for me, and the initial reaction was like, we don't want to keep this small office for 10 people. So I had to convince the people. I had to. So Joel at that time said, like, these are my three people: my COO,
Hmm.
my tax director, and my IT director. If they say yes, I will be in. Otherwise, I'm out.
Hmm.
So and we had like several, literally hundreds of meeting, convincing on each and every aspect of like whether how the 70 to 16 consent will work, and how IT will work, and how the economics will work, things like that. So we figured it out. Everybody was convinced. Then finally Joel gave me a 10-minute slot to present on India in front of 350 people. That is like directors and partners of certain Cooperman. And
Hmm.
that was a defining moment for my journey. I rehearsed for at least 100 times to make sure it goes well. Because this was the first time that the partners and directors in Citrin was about to listen about India, about the thought. So I want to make sure that they really like it about that thought, and they embrace it with all happiness, not as a by force. So I presented very well. I talked about the problem that US is facing in terms of the talent crunch. Also highlighted the talent that we have in terms of CAs. I also highlighted how many papers we have, like 13 exams, and passing rate is so low. So there's a huge talent. So why are we not exploring that? So people liked it. I got a standing ovation. From the very next day, I got a separate office. Just I was sitting in a cube as a tax manager, and now I got an office. Immediate reaction. Then we started working with the US New York tax, and everybody liked the work, and that's how the journey started. And in one of the meetings, Joel tossed an idea: would you like to move back to India and run the operations from India? It was a very difficult question for me. We never thought about it, but we thought about it. We gave a very detailed discussion with our family also. So we liked the idea. I moved back in 2016 February, and we started the Indian operations for Saturn. And we, you know, uh, month by month, year on year, we increased the
Hmm.
capacity in Saturn, and servicing almost every service line in Saturn. And when I decided to move out of Citron, I was looking for a firm which is aligned with my values, which is aligned with the culture that I'm trying to build. Because I'm very people focused and culture focused person. Like that's core of my professional existence. So and that's how I met Armanino, and then the rest was history. Like we grew up. So to give you a context, it took me 5 years to grow Citron's Indian operations to 100. It took me 5 months to grow Armanino from 0 to 100. And within 20 years prior to Armanino, I inaugurated about four offices. In less than 2 years, I inaugurated four offices for Armanino, and the fifth one is coming on on this Saturday. So we are opening our fifth office in Ahmedabad, fourth office in Ahmedabad, fifth office for Armanino. So that's how so leadership and teamwork really makes it works like a magic. It makes miracles. So I think if you have the right team, if you have the right management, right leadership, things can really work well.
Well, that's wonderfully said. So now there are so many chartered accountants, even CPAs also, even enrolled agents right from India who want to work
Hmm.
with US CPA firms. So
Yeah,
according to you, like what skills can make an Indian professional truly valuable to the US firms today? Not only India, people
yeah,
outside US, especially given the current uncertainties that is happening, with the immigrants or non-immigrants
yeah.
especially. What do you think, are the skills, that non-US people keep in mind?
Well, as a matter of fact, there are more opportunities for non-immigrants, I would say, today because uh, the firms in the US. So if you look at a very high level, I'm saying what is happening in the accounting world, there are immense pressure on the top line because of the uncertainty. Because as you know, accounting is a field which depend on the businesses. So if the businesses are uncertain about the future laws, whether it is tariffs or any other laws, it automatically affects the accounting industry. And within the accounting industry, if the top line is not increasing, obviously the pressure comes on the bottom line. Like, how do you increase your bottom line? There are only two ways you can do it. One is using AI so that you can reduce your manpower and use of offshore teams. And that's how the offshore team becomes more valuable. So, um, and with the entry of private equity firms in last few years, I think things have become more favorable for offshore teams because they are investing more in Indian operations or Philippines or Mexican operations, where they are seeing a lot of talent there and trying to build the teams there so that they can really build offshore teams so to support the overall growth and maintain the EBITDA or the overall profitability of the firm. So it is more actually there are more opportunities for if you're a non-immigrant, if you are planning to work from India or outside the US. I don't think there is a need to be in the US. But definitely, if you have an opportunity, I think you will learn a lot if you get an opportunity to work from the US, because working on the ground with the team live, it really creates a great experience. There's nothing can beat that, without a doubt. So that's my take on that. I think you have more opportunities outside the US right now. That's what my feeling is.
Okay, that's something students you must learn. What Shrenik is saying here. Well, coming to leadership, you have grown from tax manager, to the managing director level. So, as a leader, what are certain non-negotiable values, that you try to look for or build in your team?
Yeah. So I want to be honest. Like, I was never a leader from day one. Until 2018, I would say I was one of the worst leaders. I learned a lot of things the hard way. I had attrition rate of 40%. I had a very bad temper. I used to scold people. I used to, scream at them. So I was a bad leader, I would admit very openly. um, but things change, like when you learn something some certain hard ways. I One of the things that really changed my career path as a leader was my leadership coaching, which I took in 2018. So there was a 360-degree assessment when a leadership coaching company gives the assessment to your subordinates, your co-workers, your managers or supervisors. And then when you get the results, I guarantee you cannot even sleep for 2 nights. So because that will open the eyes that, okay, there is a huge gap between your intentions and your actions. So that's really that's something really changed my way of leadership. That's probably I became from a manager, I became a leader. That's kind of you can say that was a turning point. And also the my mentors played a humongous role in shaping me as a leader, because when you are a leader, you are not just about yourself or the company. You are not just about executing the firm. It's about the team that you are uh, it's the team has to be at the center. You cannot be at the center. So there are a lot of things that I learned. For example, first of all, being ethical is super important. Being um, uh, being straightforward. You cannot hide, you cannot fake yourself for a long period. So you have to be. There are weaknesses. Every leader has weaknesses. So you have to start accepting weaknesses openly.
Yeah.
That is something very difficult. Delegation of work, very difficult. A lot of managers, even today, they struggle. Um, Having an open mind to different thoughts. As a leader, your job is not to come up with the brightest thoughts. As a leader, your job is to make sure that you create an environment that everybody can come with their best uh, thought. That is the leadership. When it comes to the work environment, it is very important that you create a work environment which is if you imagine, like people spend like the majority of the time of the day in the office, at least I would say at least for three, even if it is hybrid three, let's talk about 3 days or 5 days. If in Ahmedabad we work 5 days from the office, so majority of your time you're spending in the office. So that 8 or 10 hours that you're spending in the office, that time should be the best time of the day. If you can create that kind of environment, then you're a good leader. It's not just about the seats on the in the laptops or the monitors, but the environment, positive environment. It's very important that if you have an open door policy, people should be able to openly come to their mentors, openly challenge their mentors, because uh, certain things are culturally different. Like if I talk about Indian culture versus US culture in terms of the work thing, most of the Indian culture would be following the hierarchical structures. Like, for example, a staff would not be open enough to ask questions to their partners in the Indian culture. While in the US, it's quite opposite. Like, even Matt is taking the my quarter cast, any staff member can openly ask the question without any hesitation. So those things really makes your work environment very open and free. And there are situations where somebody, let's say, I have come across so many situations where people will come to me and say, I want to switch my career and I want to go back to Indian accounting. I've
Mhm.
openly given them the right advice for them, because if you fake it like, oh no no, you have to stick with the firm and there's a great opportunity, then ultimately it will go wrong. You have to give them the right advice. You have to make sure that you carry the authenticity with you. That's non-negotiable. The other I think in today's world, if I have to summarize, I think we just have to focus. If I were a student today, I would focus on this basic ABCD. A stands for AI, obviously, because with the change of the environment in the way things work, AI becomes the core. You have to invest your time in the way where you learn AI, and make sure that you are very very efficient when it comes to the work. So what will happen is, if you cannot execute your work without AI, you will be replaced for sure. Second is about business intelligence. B stands for business intelligence. That means, like, if you're an auditor, you must be knowing the latest updates, the details of the law, much more than what you used to do. Because think of a situation today, say for example, if you are a chartered accountant yourself, so if today, if let's say you have an engineer friend, if he sells a home or a property, commercial property, he does not have to come to you to find out what will be the capital gain or what will be the situation from tax point of view. He can do it on chat gpt or copilot and get the answers. So as a chartered accountant or a CPA, you need to have much more advanced knowledge to give them that extra knowledge to your clients. So the business intelligence stands for, you have to go for super specialization. Basic knowledge will not work anymore, so you have to go for super specialization. So if I give you in a layman's language, so far it used to be MBBS and MD. Now you have to go for eye specialist and probably retina specialist. That's the path forward.
Yeah.
So if you are doing just CPA, if you're aiming for just EA or CPA, I think in the long run you should master some particular field, whether it is gift tax, whether it is individual HNI taxation, things like that. That will create a good career in the long run. And I'm not saying from day one, but over a period of time, you have to have a specialization. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to survive in the long run. C stands for communication. Very, very strong need, because that this is the probably the biggest. There is a lot of dearth of communication, even though there are a lot of tools of communication, but the communication itself is not that great among the people.
Yeah.
And there are multiple because especially after the COVID, people started working from home, and even though two people are sitting next to each other, they are sending emails or they are sending text to each other.
Yeah.
So that is like creating a lot of communication gap. So I think communication, I would say over communication is required rather than communication. The second is collaboration.
Hmm.
Two managers cannot work together, two supervisors cannot work together even though they are working in the same firm or same team. Collaboration so if you excel on communication, if you can easily collaborate with other team members. The third C is curiosity. People have started because they are getting the answers so quickly, the curiosity levels have gone down. because previously we used to have go through the books, go through a lot of pages. That created a lot of curiosity. Now you have the answers right away. So somehow I feel that curiosity has gone down. So people don't know why it happens, how it happens. They just want to, okay, this is done. But
mm,
they may have to, like for example, do not be a task doer.
mm,
Try to find out the whys. For example, if you're creating a state return,
mm,
because I think my understanding is majority of the students might have the tax as a subject. Let's say you have to ask like why we are filing this state return, what creates the nexus. If somebody moves from individual client moved from one state to other, and if there's a capital gain in particular state, what will be the taxability? How would the a state legislator would come after me? So that why, the curiosity has to be there. That will lead to a lot of questions, and the answer to those questions will lead to a lot of knowledge. So that curiosity stands for the third C. The fourth is courage to ask question and courage to say no. For example, when you are imparting training, there are very few students, very few people who has the courage to raise hand and ask question. Even though most of the people may not be knowing the answer, but there are very few people who has the courage to ask the question to the trainer.
yeah,
They might be feeling shy. They might be feeling that, oh, if I ask a question, people will judge me on that. And courage to say, accept no, that I don't know the answer. Because as a chartered accountant, as a CPA, you're not supposed to know everything. So, in general, the Indian mentality is, oh, you are a CA and you don't know this.
yeah,
That creates a social pressure on that. So that creates like undue pressure that, oh, you, like a recent example. Oh, do you know what's the budget implication on the capital gains tax? If I say no, I haven't had a chance to go through the budget. Oh, you're a chartered accountant. How come you don't know what's the what's going on the budget? But that
oh my,
hardly affects me. So I'm perfectly fine not knowing the budget, because my tax return is due next year, so I don't care. So my
great,
point is, I think you should have the courage to say no. Yeah, I don't know the answer. It's perfectly fine, because faking it actually creates a wrong, undue, pressure on you, that, oh, you don't know, and then you have to fake it. Um, the fifth C I would say is compassion. Like, you have to have compassion when you're treating your team, because at some point you are also at that level. You are also a staff person. You are not knowing things right. So how you train your team, that's very important. So the C is very important, and the D stands for digital intelligence, like how the data flows in the firm, at a high level, in the world of, because right now there are so many ways you get the data. First of all, you have to understand whether the data is accurate or not, and whether the data is flowing from the right source or not. I had recently one of my friends who is into the NBFC thing. He received some the ratings from the clients, and he found out that the ratings he got from particular clients were completely made up. It was completely fake. So when you are a professional, people are trusting you, your client is trusting you. You play a role of authenticity. You play a role of authorizing whether this is an accurate data or not, whether it's a fake one. Because in today's AI world, I think your role as a professional becomes more important to verify whether this is accurate or not. Because AI can give you a lot of answers, but not everything is accurate. Not
correct,
everything is genuine,
correct,
right? In think of an image. Like if you got an image, like you were sitting with Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, whether it's an accurate image or a fake one, you cannot easily figure it out. So you need to know that knowledge. I'm just saying it at a context point of view, but your role as a professional becomes more important in AI's world.
absolutely. I like that ABCD thing. That's good. Well, so we have been talking about the teamwork, and the team attributes and all. Now, it's always said, it's often said also, it's lonely at the top. So, as a leader, have you felt lonely or challenging these 2 decades? How did you overcome that?
Uh, I would not say lonely. No, I wouldn't say lonely, because I always had my mentors. I always had my good coworkers who always supported me. As a matter of fact, when you are at the top, you have much more, many more sources to go to. Because, for example, you know so many people, right? I mean, and I'm of a person that I would not be shy of asking question if I don't know the answer. Like I would ask my even manager, hey, I recently had a question, so I went to my tax manager who specializes in individual taxes, and I didn't know because I have lost the touch of individual taxes. So I went to him and say, do you know the answer of this? I would not be shy of asking questions. uh, in terms of the challenges, yes, you always have more challenges in terms of meeting the expectations or exceeding the expectations of your team or your management or the firm as a whole. So for that, you always take help of your mentors. Be honest, uh, be genuine rather than faking yourself. And the other important aspect that really helps you in staying on the top is better time management. I think that is something super helpful, and that helps everybody. I think whether you're a student or you're a manager or you're a partner, time management is really crucial. There are various things that you can do. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with the different techniques, but there is a 2 minute rule, there is a Pomodoro technique, there is a Parkinson's law. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar. If you want, I can go in detail, but depending on the time availability that we have, since we have already lost some time, I don't want to go into detail. But there are a lot of things that can help you to do more things in a limited period of time. Because if you think from a bigger picture, like there's one thing common between us and Ambani's or Adani's is the time. Like there is no, they do not have a second more, a second less. We have the same thing, or any successful people for that matter. Just that that reminds me of a really nice book. If students are interested, there's a really nice book called Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. I highly recommend that. If you are an avid reader, it will really help you how to be successful. And there are very common habits that
Yeah.
successful people have, and I have read it multiple times. I really found it very helpful.
So by Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
Well, so uh, as somebody now sitting as a MD, uh, if you look back in your career or in this in this particular industry, what mistakes do you commonly see young professionals making early in their career?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think um, a lot of professionals are not clear what they want to do. Their
Hmm.
goals are not clear. Just as I mentioned, like from 8th standard, I was very clear about my CA thing. From my articleship, I was very clear about my CPA thing. So you have to think at least 5 to 10 years from now and decide your goal where you want to be. And I'm saying this not in terms of title. I never aspired to be a partner. I never aspired to be a managing director, honestly speaking. Honestly, you'll really laugh at me when I say this, that when I got to know that I became a partner, I was in shock. The reason I was in shock because in February I moved to India, February 16. Um, in July when I joined the team. So that was the reason I was in shock. There are other efforts that I have to put to make sure that I keep up, live up to the expectations. So in terms of the other mistakes, I think we choosing the right partner. Take the help of mentors who have walked that path. Rather than there are several people who just go with the flow. Like just because your friend is going some other company, they'll just say, okay, I will also want to go to in the
Hmm.
field of tax. Or they there are several employees who are working in consulting and they are doing EA. Now consulting has nothing to do with tax. So of course, just for knowledge, they are doing EA. So I
Yeah.
think that's a waste of energy, waste of efforts, waste of resources. So
Hmm.
if you are focused and if you are really really make marvels. You can be a really a perfectionist. Take an example of Sachin Tendulkar. Like he did his debut at the age of 16. The reason he could do that because from day one he was focusing on cricket. Imagine if he was having one day taking coaching of cricket, other day taking going for football, third day going for basketball. Would he be a good cricketer?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
This
have to put
generation.
all of your energy into one thing. So that is something you have to decide.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if there is a student, who is pursuing
The
EA,
other thing,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, please go ahead.
no, I think the other thing I just wanted to mention about cultivating good habits. I think
Mm,
that also helps you, build good career. Cultivate good professional habits, your personal habits. That really helps you. Like, for example, reading habits, exercising habit. I personally really depend on that. Like, I didn't give enough weightage to my health, and that's I'm facing issues now. So my point is, you have to cultivate good habits from the beginning. Like, you have to make sure, if you're for example, if you're in 20s, give 20 minutes time for your mental reading or physical fitness. If you're in 30s, give 20 minutes for reading or physical fitness. That can really go a long way.
true.
Now I try to make at least 4 to 5 days in a week, not every day, but 4 to 5 days. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. You need 2 days rest. Well, so what I was asking was, if there is a student, who is pursuing EA or CPA, watching today, who wants to build a global US tax career, where do you think, they should start? ये पढ़ाई तो हो जाएगा. I mean, how to,
This,
I mean,
yeah,
what they should focus on.
yeah, yeah. That's a great question. So I use an analogy of mango tree theory. So consider that you are a farmer and you want to achieve professional excellence in terms of tax. Like, your goal is to become an expert in tax, US tax, right? So consider mango is your juicy mango is your professional excellence in terms of tax. The first thing you need to have as a farmer to grow a mango is patience. So as a professional, you need to have patience. You cannot expect to be a partner in 5 years. So today, I think number one dearth of patience is like the new candidates who are joining in the industry fresh. They do not have patience because they
Mm,
want to grow. They want to have promotions every year. They want to be first year staff, second year senior, third year supervisor, fourth year manager, and fifth year they want to become a partner. That's not going to happen. You need to have patience.
yeah.
Number two, going back to my mango tree theory, is choosing the right land. So right land in form of right firm, which can give you the exposure sense. The other three things in terms of growing a mango, you need water, good climate, and you need the fertilizer. So in terms of professional excellence, you need continuous training. So which firm can give you good training?
Mm,
You need challenging work, and the third most important thing is the good work atmosphere, like where you can stay positive. Where imagine a firm you are working with, rest of the other people are like less educated, like they're all bcoms or even not bcoms sometimes, and they are just doing data entry work. And imagine a firm where the rest of the team is much more talented than you. You will feel much more motivated if you remain in. So if I always feel that in a conference room or in a team, if I am the brightest one, that is the moment that you should leave the team. You should never be the brightest or the brightest one in the team that you're in. So you should always be surrounded by much more smart people than you. So that will always motivate you to do much better and much harder. The so the three things that I mentioned about water, fertilizer, and the atmosphere. So then it comes to, after some years you will receive the juicy mangoes. But apart from that, what will be the natural thing that grows along with that? That's branches and the leaves. So that's your titles, and that's your money, or the compensation that you earn. You don't have to chase for that. It's an automatic repercussion of that. Automatically you receive that, right? So it's a byproduct. You don't have to work for that. No farmer will say, I want to have 3,000 leaves, but I'm okay with 200 mangoes. Nobody cares about leaves. It's
Yeah,
like it's a byproduct of a good hard work, right?
true.
So right now what is happening, the biggest mistake people do is like they just chase for title and money. They don't care about the role that they're going for, or the kind of work or excellence that they want to chase for. So that's something I would always advise, that go for the good work rather than good money all the time.
Hmm.
Of course, money plays a role, but it
That's
should
hard
not
to
be the number one priority.
people. That hard to convince people, and I've seen people,
Yeah,
leave also. When we don't promote them. I'm sure you must
yeah,
have seen that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, with AI and automation, coming in, should students be worried or excited? And what do you think, will be the kind of accounting and tax professionals will be in demand, over 5 years? Forget 10 years, next
Yeah,
5. So,
yeah.
what's your take on?
So it's a great question. So I would say they should be worried if they are not tech savvy or they
Hmm.
are not ready to learn AI. They should not be worried if they are tech savvy. They are ready to learn new things. They are ready to cope up with the new AI things, because everything is changing every day. The way you are conducting this seminar or webinar, I don't think you'll be conducting the same way after 1 year. You'll be doing something else, the different style, right? So that's the fact. So change is the only thing which is constant. Now, when it comes to about AI, I think, as I said, like there are a lot of more opportunities which will come up. Uh, Imagine, I'm sure you would know that 10 years ago or maybe 15 years ago, there used to be physical passbooks
Hmm.
where they were manually filled by the bankers.
Yeah.
So you had to give them the passbook in the morning, and in the afternoon they'll manually fill out, and
Yeah.
then they'll give it to you after the, or maybe next day you can collect it. Now in today's world, imagine, in today's world, people don't even have the passbook,
Hmm.
right? So because everything is real time, so
Yeah.
the moment you do the transaction, nobody cares about I mean, you get the message right away. You can see the transaction in your account within the next second. So imagine that if you want to be that bank clerk who used to fill the passbook, and you say, I like this job so much that I do not want to change, then you will be non-existent in next 5 years. So the same goes with the service industry. So if you are a data cruncher, if you are just happy in entering the data from one form to other form, then you are going to have a really hard time. But if you are a minder, not just a grinder, but if you're a minder and a binder, like who can get teams, who can build teams, that will really make huge teams, and that can make you a good part of the team. You can be a good leader. So depends on what kind of personality you have, what kind of focus you have. So there are people who are just happy and satisfied with what they do at the moment, and they do not want to learn, they do not want to invest time. So I'm sure you must have heard a book of Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah. Robert Kiyosaki.
So yeah, so there he explains the theory, like what does a rich dad does, and what a poor dad does. It's not about rich and poor, it's about the thinking. Like,
Hmm.
so how they invest the money. So for professionals, their time is their money. So I give you a very simple example. Out of the 8 hours, I guarantee you not every professional has 8 hours of work. Now out of the 8 hours, if you have 6 hours of work and you have 2 hours left with you, now it depends on how you spend that money, how you spend that 2 hours, whether you are investing in new learning, or you are investing or wasting in gossiping with some others, or going on LinkedIn and say, hey, who got promoted and who got how much salary and all that. So
Yeah.
it depends on you how you are investing your time, because as a professional, your time is your money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, what keeps you motivated even after 2 decades in the industry? What makes you
uh
want to hit that snooze button and get up every morning?
yeah, I think the age which where we are in right now, I think it's constantly changing. It's every day is a new challenge, and at this level, your schedules are not fully you know kind of it's not a pre-planned day. You always have new challenges every day. Something goes on, something goes off, so you have to deal with that situation. So that keeps you like, okay, what's the new challenge for today? What is the new thing that you have to, what new problem that you're going to solve today? So that keeps me motivated. There will be new challenges. I can go on, like for example, when I was a staff or a senior, the biggest challenge for us was like how to get to the US, how to come go to the US, because taking the CPA exam, it was not possible to take it in India at
Mm.
that time. You had
Yeah.
to go to the US. So how to manage the money and all that. So that was the biggest question. So we fought for like, oh, we our firm sponsored us, and our, we fought for those things.
Mm.
In today's world, people are getting like, there are so many firms, including Armanino, who sponsors the coaching fees to some
Mm.
extent,
Mm.
who promotes so much to take CPA exams to their employees, right? But there are several number of employees who take the benefit of that. But there are employees who are not even working full time from the office, they are on hybrid mode, and they're expecting to get paid for the meals that they get at home. So
Oh,
there are different mentalities. So that really
wow.
amazes me,
This
that
I
wow,
this I haven't heard.
this is, yeah, this is great. I mean, I like to have this kind of challenge, like who expects people to be fed at even
Oh,
working at home. So
work
wow,
from
that's
home,
that
you
so that
alone. Wow. Wow. ये नहीं सुना यार. This is something new on our show. Okay, great, great, great. No, definitely not a leadership material. Yeah. Okay,
So
great.
on that leadership material, I just like to say one thing for sure, and probably students will love this. So there's a famous statement from Kennedy, like don't ask what
Right.
the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. I tell my employees the same thing. Don't ask what the firm can do for you. Ask what you can do for the firm. Meaning that what value you are adding to the firm. I think that will make you a partner, not just the titles or not just like the work that will make you. If you can bring a lot of work, if you can build the team,
Yeah.
those things are value additions, not just number crunching.
True.
If you cannot even work with one person who is sitting next to you, how can you expect to be a partner? There will
Absolutely.
be clients, there'll be clients who are like very aggressive. There will be clients who are, so you cannot expect clients to be very passive and accepting what fees you are mentioning on the engagement letter. So you have
Yeah.
to negotiate with them, you have to be patient with them. So these are the qualities that makes you a partner or makes you as a leader.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How do you manage your work-life balance? Especially your wife. I mean, does she have any complaints during the tax
Oh,
season?
she has a lot of complaints. She can have another podcast of 1 hour.
I hope she's not
uh,
watching.
so no, I mean, I try to, I would not say I have excel in that front. I try to manage that. One thing I have, definitely I can say that I have never missed any like a sports meet or annual day or birthday or anything of my kids so far, not a
Wonderful,
single. So
wonderful.
that is something I can definitely say. uh, you know in terms of, you know when you're at a position where the top firm management are relying on you, so many people are eyeing at you to grow the firm, you always have to put extra. It's not going to be limited to 8 hours. I really work almost every week 60 hours minimum.
Okay.
So that is something,
How many days do
but
you work?
with the same time,
How many days?
yeah. So I work like almost most likely I would say 6 days. I would say I try to take a break on Sunday, but because Saturdays and Sundays are where you do not get so much of inflow of people coming into your office or so many emails. So that is kind of a calm. So I try to keep certain jobs which requires a lot of focus. I do it on Sunday and Saturday, and but life goes on. Yeah, it's part and parcel of the growth story.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you look back years, from now and to where you are able to see, your vision, what is the kind of legacy you want to leave in this particular industry, or what is it that you want your team to remember you, or to be, remembered for?
Yeah, I think, as I said, I'm a people focused and quality focused person. So whatever you do, whatever. So right now I have people in my team who are IT specialists. I have no zero knowledge of IT. I'm
Hmm.
not an IT person, right? But the way I can motivate them is like whatever field you are in. I think your goal should be that nobody can beat you in that particular excellence that you achieve. That should be your goal. You should never aim for meeting the expectation of your team. You should always aim to exceed the expectation. The reason I'm saying is, if your aim is just to meet the expectation, there's a fair chance that you cannot meet it.
Hmm.
But if your goal is to exceed expectation, even if you do not meet that expectation goal, at least you will meet the expectation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Why they say
I think
the stars, at least you will reach the moon.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
nice, nice. So, having been, as a MD, have you never thought, to start a firm of your own?
I would not say I have never thought. I have thought very diligently. A lot of people have approached me as well, but one of the reasons why I moved out of Citrin was I wanted to be at a place where people can challenge me.
Hmm,
And if you start your own firm, it is very difficult to have that kind of situation. So I learned a lot, even though I started the firm Armanino after 10 years of experience. I learned a lot of things, like to do things differently. So I have a very inquisitive mind. I want to be on a learning end rather than teaching end. I want to make sure that I am surrounded by people who are much smarter than me, who can challenge me, and that's what keeps me going.
that's nice. Do you teach anything in your company or outside?
I do take two important courses. One is how to be successful at Armanino, and I give some of the tips, like a few things I just discussed, like mango tree theory about time management. I take a 2 hour course on that, and another course is on communication. That's again 2 hour course. I take some practical example how to be successful. One of the major reasons I'm here is because of my communication skills. As I mentioned, like the journey started with the 10-minute speech that I gave in 2014. So I think that's those are two courses I teach. I used to take technical sessions when I used to be a manager.
Hmm, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, do you teach anything technical also now?
Not right now. Not
Yes.
right now. I left that I think 3 4 years ago.
Okay. Okay. What's your favorite subject in the taxation?
Individual taxation, because when you're doing individual taxation, the whole journey is in front of you, like what that person did, and everything is surrounded by him. Like, because in the US individual tax, you're filing for the entire family, right? It's your wife and what's happening, whether it was they got married, they had kids, they bought a new house. So you can almost see the entire life in when you're preparing the return, when they sold some capital gain stocks and things like this. So what's happening, you can literally see. So I really and you have to interact with the people, right? So that really helps me a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, and also, to the people now with the OBA, that has come, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, some
Yeah.
people are anxious that, oh, OBA has come, that this and all, especially, EA or the CPA regulation guys. So, how do you want to comfort them, that there are no such massive changes except, some number changes here and there?
Yeah, I think again, so every year, I'm not sure why they should be anxious. It's a part and parcel of the process. Like every year, they have to come up with new changes, and it's part and parcel of the process. If there are no changes, then you should be surprised. if the, and that keeps you going, right? If there are changes, that's when the CPA's job is secure.
They expect things to be like accounts, like it doesn't change,
Yeah.
debit, credit.
No, I
What
think
is
that
yeah.
that will be the last nail in the coffin. I mean, if things don't change, there won't be any need for accountant.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, personally, like, who do you think makes more money, the accounting guy or the tax guy?
Ah, I don't know. Depends on what kind of role they have. Uh, you know, I don't know, but my guess would be a tax guy, because they're considered in Indian field. I think they are considered more technical, and that's why probably they might be making a little more. That is my guess, but I don't think that you can not make more than a tax guy. It depends on what kind of role you are, because I tell you, in accounting, the newest roles that are coming up is FP&A. So if you want to make a really good career in accounting, FP&A could be a really good field for you. It's really dynamic, and the best part is you directly work with the office of the CFO.
Mm.
So it's very dynamic. It requires a lot of skills in Power BI, in Excel, in projections and budgeting. It's a really exciting field if you really like. But if your accounting is limited to doing debits and credits, forget about the making money. You'll be out of job within 2 years. Trust me,
True, true.
because AI is coming and taking over it.
Now, with CPA having electives also, do you
Yeah,
think these bars all they'll be able to fill that FP&A expectations what you're talking about to make
I
them job
think
industry?
so. As I said, like I feel I always consider CPA as a base degree if you want to be in US accounting, and then you can specialize if you want to, say for example, if you want to pursue a career in finance and accounting, you can go for CFA. You can if you want to pursue a career in internal control, you can go for CIA. If you want to go for let's say AI and internal SOC control, you can go for CISA. uh, but a combination will really make you much more it will give you an edge over others, because as I said, like I give you an example. Today my friend's son, who is in the 10th grade, he's already passed two exams of ACCA.
Hmm.
So now that's generation alpha. So when the students that who are watching today, when they become managers, they'll be dealing with generation alpha, who will be much smarter, swifter, much more tech efficient, tech enabled. So you have to make sure that you are investing time in the right technology and the right technical work or technical field, which makes you relevant even after 10 years. You don't have to invest time just for what is relevant today. You have
Yeah,
to make sure that you are planning it for the next 5 to 10 years. That will make you and keep you relevant in the long run.
true, true. There are almost like 3,088 viewers as of now, Shrenik.
Is it
So
good or bad? I don't know. What's
it
the
is
net?
good.
What's the
It
regular?
is, it is good. It is good. It usually crosses five, but today, like so many people came in at once, so we
Yeah.
just bombard.
You
So
want to take questions, because I have to have a hard stop within
sure,
5 to 10
sure.
minutes.
I'll be done in 5 to 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
to everyone,
Yeah.
watching us live now, if you have any questions for Shrenik, please drop them in the chat box, and we will try to pick a few, as we progress. Okay, I think we have one ready. So, what's the biggest challenge you faced in your career, and how did you overcome it?
Uh, that's a great question. So I feel that the biggest challenge when I was in the US and my firm merged with certain Cooperman, um, I did not know that because, as I said, like initially, Joel Cooperman, the then CEO, was not too much inclined towards the Indian office and all that. And when this merger happened, on the same day, I had signed my home lease in the US. So you can imagine, like I had created a liability for myself, and I did not know my future whether they'll keep, because in the mergers people get laid off.
Hmm.
So I did not know whether I'll be having my job, or so that moment was very very little scary, and I did not, and I lost my support in terms of partners who were supporting India. They left when the merger happened. So that period of 2014 was really challenging for me to convince the team and getting over that hurdle. And because the people in the team in India was eyeing on me, because I was in the US, and I was trying to convince my US team. So that period was probably the most challenging one so far.
Okay, that's nice. Anything else do you feel, that I missed asking you? Because I think most of
Uh,
repetitive questions, but is there
yeah,
anything else? I think you fairly covered,
I think I think people generally ask me what does success mean to you, like in general.
Hmm.
So I feel that success is measured by others, because people might see, okay, Shrenik makes good money, he has a nice house and car and all that, so that probably is success to them. I feel, to me it's more important, like what is satisfaction. Success comes as a second number, but whether I'm satisfied with what I'm doing or not, because whether I'm adding value to my firm, whether I'm adding value to my team, that's more important, and that gives me satisfaction, that keeps me going. So that's something I always keep an eye on.
That's truly nice. So, Shrenik, I don't want to take much of your time. It's close to like 2 hours. Thank you, really, very, very much. And sorry for the delay. At the
No
start of
problem.
we had so many people join in at once, and somewhere something happened.
Yeah,
So,
no
before we
problem.
I wanted to sincerely thank you on behalf of iLead Tax Group, whether it's iLead Tax Academy or iLead Tax Planners, our students, clients, professionals, and everyone who joined us today. So thanks to you, on behalf of each one of them. You were extremely generous with your time and insights, especially on Feb 4th during the busy tax season. So
Yeah,
what made today special was not just your achievements, or your leadership journey, but also the simplicity and the honesty with which you have shared your thinking, your experience. And I'm sure the ABCD framework, the Mango theory, and all would have been really useful to the students. And I'm happy that you spoke something outside the subject. And these kind of programs are only about the leaders, because
yeah,
I personally kind of feel that they are some unsung heroes. So except their team, the world doesn't know. So this is an effort to
yeah,
bring leaders like you. It's not about iLead. It's not about your company. Also, with due respect, it's just about
yeah,
you, whosoever is the speaker, the leader here. So
yeah,
thank you so much
yeah.
for mentoring the next generation at scale. We are truly grateful, and we look forward to have many more sessions with you.
Thank you so much. It was really nice experience having chatting with you, and kudos to you for having this kind of platform so that the students can understand the other aspects of the leaders and they can interact and ask questions. So great job, iLead and yourself. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you, Shrenik. Thank you very much. Okay, so to everyone who is watching, today's session, I think it gave us two powerful lessons. What I learned, as Shrenik was speaking. I think the first one was the ABCD framework. I think he spoke about the artificial intelligence. So be aware of the AI and adapt it continuously. He said, that if you're not a tech savvy, you will soon be, out of the job. That's something, that he mentioned. And build business intelligence. That's something very, very important. You need to know what is happening. Like I see some students worrying about, oh, syllabus change, oh, that this and all. But if you remember, he said, if things are not changing, then you must be worried about it. Yeah. So leadership also has to manage change management is a topic in MBA. And see, he spoke about communication, collaboration, staying curious, and having the courage to ask questions. For those of you who are in the accounting field or the tax field, or wherever you're working, if you don't know something, be shameless in asking, at least from your seniors, from your managers, from your leaders. A good leader will definitely guide you. Not all leaders mock you. There are many leaders who will make you, and it is up to you to leverage those leaders. And then D, he spoke about developing the digital intelligence. Like, yes, it's good to leverage LinkedIn and all. At the same time, it is coming from the MD, of a company, not to waste time on LinkedIn also. It is also a social media. Off late, we see people posting their personal life stories also on LinkedIn. I don't know how many of you have witnessed it, but I keep seeing that often. And second, he also spoke about the mango tree theory. So my little learning from it was like, a mango tree doesn't give fruit overnight. So people qualify CA, I mean EA, CPA and all. They want to make 6-digit salary soon. Nothing wrong in that, but that soon needs time, patience, nourishment, and consistent care. So in the early years you don't see results, but remember that the roots are growing. Career works the same way. If you focus only on quick rewards, you will definitely get disappointed, my dear. And if you focus on building those strong roots, like laying that strong foundation, be it skills, values, discipline, and learning, the fruits will definitely come at the right time, and by your fruits you will be recognized. Yeah. So once again, I just want to thank Shrenik uh, for joining us today. and for reminding us, that great careers are not just rushed, they are grown. They are grown. He told his challenges also, what he faced and how he was at the start of the show. And to our students and professionals, make sure you practice that ABCD, what Shrenik said, and be patient, like the mango tree. It gives shade, it gives fruits also. And trust the process. So, thank you very much for joining us today. So, this is Nandakumar signing off from 40, the Tax Titans talk. And remember, Titans are not born, they are built. They are built. And if you are aware, of any other industry tax titan and you want to host them into the show, please let me know. Share their name, company name, and contact details with us at asknanda at ileadtax.com or WhatsApp number that you are seeing in the scrolling, and our team will definitely reach to them. So, see you soon in the next IT session.